Uh, did you ever, try to push a fart out a little bit too hard? And yeah, you might have made a little accident in your pants, but you're not really quite sure if you made an accident in your pants until you get up and walk and it feels like you got toothpaste in your butt. That happened to me last night. That's how I get in the fucking shower. I'm getting old, man. I can't fucking control my bowels. Ah, there goes the lawnmower next door. You gotta love this neighborhood. Hi, I'm your neighbor. I live right next door to you. Hi, I live 6 inches away from you. Hi, I'm your neighbor on the other side. I live 6 inches away. Isn't this great? Somebody help me move the fuck out of here. Let's try to do a gun review with a fucking lawnmower going on. 8 o'clock in the morning, this douchebag's mowing his friggin' lawn. I can't do this with the fucking lawnmower going on. So I'm gonna wait till this fat, sweaty guy gets done. I'm fat and sweaty, but way less. I'm getting there. Thanks to you guys. Believe it or not, thanks to you guys. It's all the positive comments I've been getting. Guys, you know, let me know that I'm losing weight, and you know that encourages me. I hope you ain't lying. I hope I really am. I think I am. I'm feeling better. I feel lighter. Anyway, this video is going to be fuck that lawnmower. I'm talking. This video is about guns I've had problems with in the past, and because I just got a comment and it kind of bothered me. You know, these people, man, these people that are always trying to catch you contradicting yourself. I don't know what their problem is. One guy left me a comment saying, "I can't believe anything you say. First you said the Buckmark's better than the Ruger, and now you're saying the Ruger is better than the Buckmark." All right. See, a lot of people at YouTube, they kind of just watch the video and they skim through it and they skim through it. They don't really intently listen really hard. Because if that was true, dude, do you know how many of those comments I would have going down my channel page? Probably like 50 of them saying the same thing you did. So since there's just one, you're not listening. Okay, I'm not being rude. I'm trying not to be. You know, because I find that rude that you left that comment. But I'm thin-skinned, so I'm really not built for YouTube. But I'm going to try to take a different approach instead of, you know, yelling at each other and like kids. Let's do it this way. You gave me an idea for a video, so thank you for your negative comment. It actually created a video. You're the man. Let's start with the Glock Generation 4 right there. I bought that Glock. You heard this story a million times, but now these guns are all together. The jock. I was never a jock. Good in sports, but I wasn't a jock. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, and I should not be making videos this early. But I ain't got a lot of time today, so I'm squeezing this one in. The Generation 4 Glock. When I first bought it, it had nothing but issues in every way you can imagine. I brought it back. I said, take this fucking gun back. These things ain't ready. These pistols are not ready for the world yet. Waited a few months, a lot of months. Heard good things about them again, because I'm a faithful believer in Glock. I went back and bought it again. Now, this one, it now has 200 rounds through it, which is pretty good. Without one failure, that pretty gives you a good feeling about it. If the gun's going to fuck up, it's going to fuck up between 50 and 100 rounds. Now, let me make that straight too. Not a lot of people, like two people that I know, one of them's my friend, said, how can you say a gun's reliable after 50 to 100 rounds? Well, think of it this way, dude. Unless I'm a competition shooter, unless I'm going to the range 3 times a week or 3 times a month and putting thousands of rounds through my gun, 50 to 100 rounds is a good sign your gun's fine. Okay? Most people buy guns, they shoot them a couple times a year, and then they wear them and carry them to protect themselves. You understand? Now, if I was a competition shooter, and I put a lot of rounds through my guns for a living, or because I'm competing, maybe I would higher my standards on testing the gun for reliability. But if you put 50 to 100 rounds through your pistol using hollow points and round ball ammunition, and the gun's running fine, and you're fixing to carry it, I think that's a green light for it, that you can carry it. The gun should be fine. Okay? That's what I mean by when I say that. Everyone dissects and micromanages everything I say. And it's because a lot of them don't have common sense, or we just agree to disagree. So, there you go. I mean, if that was the case, if Beretta, a multi-million dollar company, probably more than that, is going to ship out these guns, how come they don't put a couple of 100 rounds through them first? Why do they only shoot them 12 times? Why do they only put 25 rounds to them? Because that says, well, the gun's functioning, it's operating, it's ejecting, it's shooting, it's doing everything it's supposed to do. This passes the quality control test. Ship it out. Okay? Once in a while you get, I think when you get a bad gun out of the box, I really seriously, I don't think it was tested. I think people are lazy at the gun companies, and I think they test I don't think they test every single one. I think they test maybe every 10 guns that come off the line, they test one, or maybe every 5. And sometimes one goes through without being tested that's defective. It's not because it don't have 1,000 rounds through it. I'm done talking about that. I hate that argument. Everyone has their own opinion. That's mine. There you go. Especially if you're in a mechanic field, because when you're a mechanic and you work mechanically, like I've done all my life, guns ain't no different. They're mechanical. So you have a good concept how mechanics work, and you have a lot of common sense in that category. You know what I'm saying? So I feel good about my judgment. I think if a gun has 50 to 100 rounds and doesn't have one single failure, it's going to save your life, But if you're putting a gazillion rounds through it and your extractor breaks, that ain't because that's ridiculous. Of course it's going to break if you put thousands of rounds through it. It's eventually going to wear out. You getting where I'm going here? I hope this clears this up. Okay. Now that we wasted, I don't know how much time because my camera don't have a clock on it. I gave the Gen 4 Glock another chance, and it's fine. I got a couple aftermarket parts in it just to make the gun more comfortable to my suiting, what I like, and it runs great. I got 200 rounds through it, and I know after 200 rounds without no failures, I know this gun's not going to have any failures unless something freakishly breaks. That's not because I didn't put enough rounds to it. That's because there's a faulty part in the gun. You understand? Zip. So, yeah. So the Glock's good. Now let's get to the Ruger. When I first got a Ruger Mark III Hunter, when I first took it apart, my stainless steel one, that thing looked like shit. I don't know who was working that day. I don't know what that was. That wasn't a Monday. That was like an overtime Monday night fuck up. That's what that was. Someone was really not caring that day. And that was my experience with the Ruger. So I took it apart. I looked underneath the barrel, and man, there was all this unfinished burrs left there. Okay? So I took the Ruger back. I said, this is a hunk of crap. And I bought a Buckmark. Now the Buckmark was much nicer. It was finished much nicer. It even felt a little more comfortable in the hand than the Ruger. But did it shoot as good, as accurately? Not for me, it didn't. Okay, the Ruger, for me, the way I hold the pistol in my hand, I guess, the Ruger, I can pretty much hit whatever I point at. So, the Buckmark was nicer, but then when I took the Buckmark apart, I didn't like that it had plastic parts inside it. That was a turn-off. And then I found out you can't dry fire it because the firing pin hits the breech plate, and that turned me off a little bit more. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give Ruger another chance because there's millions of them out there that are running great. So I must have got a bad gun. Because, I always get the bad guns. And that's what I did. So I went and got this Ruger, got rid of the buck mark, and as soon as I looked at this Ruger, as soon as I pulled the slide back and looked in the ejection port and looked at all the internals, everything was so much nicer looking than the last Ruger. Everything was rounded off, everything was polished, there was no rough edges. Then I took the barrel off and looked underneath. Everything was polished, no rough edges, everything was machined smoothly, no edges at all, beautiful. I said, oh, I think I got a good one. And I got a good one. There you go. I had no problems with this because the last one, the actual feed ramp had burrs on it, and around the breech plate, right where the round actually chambers into the chamber, there was burrs around there. That's why that stainless steel Ruger Hunter, it was called, was jamming, and it looked bad. It was horrible. Even the machine work on the frame was you could see all the swirl marks. I'm like, what the hell? What is this? So that's what happened. So I'm not contradicting myself. I'm just going through experiences and sharing them with you guys. I can't help what happens to me. You know what I mean? So let's not get all crazy and, and start saying, trying to make me look like an ass. Like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going through experiences with you guys because I'm not an expert. I told you that before. I'm not an expert. And, if some goofy shit happens like that, contradiction's going to happen. We're going to go back and forth till we find out what's right. So there you go. There's my story on the Ruger. Now the Beretta. There's the Beretta 92 or the Beretta M9, the Beretta FS, whatever the frig you want to call it. I had a lot of bad experiences with that gun. I bought a Beretta 92, or no, it's a Beretta FS and a Target Master, and the gun was fucking up left and right. It was stovepiping, jamming. The slide wouldn't lock back on an empty mag. And Target Master treated me very good. They took the gun back, and they let me get a 1911 instead. And that's what happened. So a year went by, maybe, and I'm seeing all these Berettas on YouTube, and I know our military has them, and God, they're probably the most produced pistol in the world. Them and Glocks. I'm like, this gun has to be good. There's millions of them out there. Not thousands, there's millions of them out there, and they're reliable. Alright, maybe 2% are not reliable. I don't know, I'm just throwing a number out there. Let me take a shot at it again. I want one of those reliable ones. And that's what I did. I bought the Beretta again. I made sure I got the M9. I just wanted the military one. And so far, it's been perfect. It's been perfect. So that's why, that's a gun that I bought twice. So I bought the Glock twice, the Ruger twice, the FS or whatever, the M9 twice, and that's it. One brand's not worse than the other. Jesus, God, didn't we go over this already? Now, the AR-15. I had an AR-15 last time, and it was a Bushmaster, but I bought an AR-15 twice. I got rid of the Bushmaster because it was jamming and all, and it ain't because it's the Bushmaster. It needed to be well lubricated or it wouldn't run right and all this and that, and so I traded it in. I think I got a beautiful 1911 or so. I did something stupid. I think I put it towards a Polytech or something. So I said, you know what? Once again, there's too many AR-15s out there. I need to own one. I got to get one in my collection. I just got to get a reliable one. I'm going to give it another shot. So I did my research and all, and I said I'm going to go with the DPMS because I know it doesn't have all the fancy, the fancy, the hell you call them, internals, and it's not mil-spec like a Colt. But I said I'm going to get it because I see a lot of good things with them, and I hear a lot of good things about them. But it's not even a DPMS anymore. Everything has been gutted. Everything's replaced. The only thing that's still original in there is the buffer tube and the buffer spring and the barrel. That's it. All the guts and the bolt and the gas piston system, everything's been upgraded. So, and we did take it to the range, and it shot great so far. But there's another example. That's why I got another AR, because I know they're good rifles, but I just needed to find one that was reliable and one that was made right. See what I'm saying? So this is, you know, this is, I think, a pretty good video on, you know, switching, going back and forth and changing your mind. So, I mean, what is with this? I mean, you're not allowed to change your mind, or you don't know what you're talking about? I see the biggest gun channels. I mean, I'm talking guys with hundreds of thousands of subscribers making mistakes and contradicting yourself. Everyone does it. You can't help it. Because you're going to have a bad experience at one time, and then you're going to have a good experience at a later time, or vice versa. You can't help that shit. Okay? So if I'm recommending a pistol to you, or a rifle to you, that particular one that I have is running great for me at the time. I can't say the one you're going to buy is going to run good. Nobody can say. The gun company can't even tell you that. You know what they'll tell you? You got to try it. You got to go out to the range and try it. Did you ever watch Sons of Guns and Red Jacket? When people come in and order a custom gun, and they say to the guy, "You think it's going to run good?" Even him, he's a genius. He says, "I don't know. When we get it to the range, we're going to see what it does." He doesn't say, "Oh no, yeah, these guns run great all the time." These guns, you can't do that. It's just, they're all machined, they're all put together, and they're all have their own personality. So you got to hope you have one with a good personality.